name is Lamin Jai. This is News Review. Thank you for being there. Today, there will be no newspapers for today, but we'll go straight into the show as tragedy has struck the beach in Fajara, where 4 students have drowned on Wednesday afternoon. The Father Network has been speaking to the family, but also a witness who was there when the students drowned. It was 5 of them. 1 was pulled out and was able to survive, while the other 4 all died. Let's bring you that report now and find out what really happened there at Levato Beach. The students, 2 boys and 2 girls, drowned after entering the sea on Wednesday afternoon. A 5th one survived. This witness explains.
Hale ñom group of students lañ won, ñom group lañ won. Mu naa woon ñu si ëpp si français school bi lañ jógee am na ñeneen ñu jógee si yeneen school nag ñu fi nekkoon dañ ko def faral di def every time xale yi dañ dee ñëw parce que am na suma beneen sister ñu ko wax Awa moom mu ngi am fii restaurant moom ma hand over restaurant am bi fii Stars Kitchen so am na fi 7 years so moom si moom lu ma explainal bu mu ko déggee mooy every year so xale yi demee ba time bi jàll nañ exam moom moo dee daaxa xale yi fii so daf dee daa xale yi am pour dem ba si school bi wax principal bi ne lii xale yi ñu ngi ñëw si bij bi te safut so daa gis ne moom mu ngi fi jógee 2 months back because mu ngi ma call mu ngi jooy mu ne ko fa mel ni moom daf fi jógee xale yi amatuñ kenn ku la naa sikkiyo so man maa ñëwoon si bij bi de doxantu ma ne ok because arama ñëw si bij bi ma free up suma mind bi jógee si restaurant bi ñëw so xale yi ñu ngi woon that side foofu lañ nekkoon di fo so bu ñu nekkee di fo after man ma nekk fi ba ay 1:45 ma ne xaaral ma dem julli so ma dem julli boobu noonu dama paree julli dugg si restaurant bi rek maire bu ma bokk dendool mu ne ma xale yi ñu ne foo xale ñoo lab si biir géej bi ma ne ko loolu mu ta possible xale yi foofu laa leen bàyyi ñuy fo so noonu laa roosee ma ñëw so bu ma roosee ma ñëw ma tombé beneen xale bi ndox baa ngi ko isi so ñu ngi seet xale yi waaye moom ndox baa ngi ko isi so bu ko ndox bi isi buñ try daw ñu génnee ko si ndox bi ñu try so si lañ nekkoon du try di ko pompe because ñu bari pompe neen mun ta wok so man si laa ñëw ma try so bu ma pompé for the first 3 times ok fii lu ma dara ma pompe 5 times demut so si laa try ma pompe 10 15 30 so after ma feel ne deyut dafa sona waaye mu ngi in a critical condition so si laa woo Red Cross bi ne kii mu ngi sona because mus naa def first aid president our skin so ma ne ok nañ ko try ñu roos ko lopitaan waaye unfortunately buñ ko roosee lopitaan ñu ne mujjewut koo méeg si lopitaan bi so kooku bu mu génnee ambulance bi di ko yóbbu less than 1-2 minutes si la boat bi ñëw gaal bi tam dafa demoon pour save gars yi so si la gaal bi ñëw so bu gaal bi ñëwee mu histoire benn xale bu jigéen waaye dafa fekk xale bu jigéen bi moom dee na already so léegi daa gis ne ñaari already ba tey ñu ngi si biir géej bi ñu ngi try pour figure out gars yi ban boor la ñoo génnee si géej bi but the first one kooku noonu moom génnee nañ ko moom survive na moom taxut ko sonn noonu moom right now mu ngi ok mu ngi ànda sagom waaye ñaari moom right now ñu ngi si géej bi so dafa mel ni kenn moo survive daanaka dañoo wane foo yëpp dee neen because ñu ngi génnee ñële ne la after 2 so after 2 ba léegi xale yi ñu ngi si biir ndox bi so dafa mel ni kon dañoo wax ne ñooñu seen body yi leen soxla waaye already gars yi dee neen ba pare.
16-year-old Segunda Frera was one of the victims. Her family is devastated.
waaw xale bi moom dëgg xale ku noppi la moom su defee dara soo koy coow sax du la dee uyu dafay noppi nga wax ba nga sona mu noppi waaw soo comme yëfi yëngatu yi ne tam gaaw ci yëfi géej tam mun na dem waaye du sangu su moroomam mi di dugga sax mu ne leen moom du sangu ndox du ko jege soo demba kenn xamut lan moo xew ba mu dugga ci géej bi mu sangu ñun tam loolu moo ñu jaaxal waajuram yi waaye xale bu noppi la yëngatu deful dara xamoo dara si moom pour ne tooñ na nit si biti nga xale mu tut waaye yëngatu am tam bariwut waaw.
yéen naka ngeen ko yëgee ne moom bokk na ci ñu des si géej.
man yaayam moo ma kool moo nekk bu ma doon wax ne ana sukk ñëwagut xale ñu ne déedéet soo yàggut damay teg téléphone bi rek yaayam mu ne ticcaam moo ko kool ne xale dañ des si géej bi ma ne ko man maa ngi wax ticca ñëwagut kii sukk ñëwagut kon ndekete ku sukk kon mu ngi ci géej bi man mënuma bilif loolu sax noonu lañ demee ba ci biir moom ma gisee baagam bi ak uniforme am bi ci laa soog a xam ne lii dëgg la man lu may ñaan fii tam rek xam naa moom bosam ñu dee ñi ne leen yàlla yëram dee nañ ba pare waaye nguur bi dimbale ñu tam ñu mun a xam ni ñoo gaadee géej bi because soo waxee sax nga mun a contrôle xale munoo ko xale yàlla moo koy sàmma suñu dimbalee si géej bi dina baax torop because soo waxee xale bu dem géej mun na ba yeree mu dem balaa ngaa dégg ñu ne la dem na lii moo ñu surprise loo dem ba su ma tàgg woon du dem xam ne su ma demee sama bàjjen du ma bàyyi ma dem loolu moo tax mu romb noonu mu dem ku ko waxoon tam soo demee nga dee du dem lii la. ñu dimbale ñu ci géej bi daal.
The students all come from the Senegalese school in the Gambia. We visited the school, but we are told the principal wasn't around. We, however, managed to speak to the president of the parents of the School Children's Association.
Well, accident bi dal nimu dem moy que xalé dañ dem école ñu jang ba 9:30 ñu jéxal school tej nekati ñom ñu ngi dem di préparer lo xamné parents yi yeguñu ko school bi yeguñu ko ñu jéki rek ñu dégg affaire bi happen ñu né ñenti xalé lab nañ ci waaw.
léegi yow lan nga mën a wax parents yi si seen xale yi ñi nga xam ne ñu ngi dem school waaye suñ fa jógee dañoo dem si géej bi ak yooyu di jéem a bugg a sangu yooyu.
parents yi kay à chaque instant saa yu ñu amee meeting ñun dañ leen di sensibiliser pour ñu téye xale yi si kër bi mais xale yi nag des fois dañuy def loo xam ne kenn yëgu ko because of lii moom amul kenn koo xam ne ku ko yëg dañu wàcc school rek dem def li ñuy def dem si beach bi.
Police are yet to speak on the issue.
Now, activist Syria Bio has been speaking to reporters, calling on all Gambians to rally behind President Adama Barrow. He is part of a movement called We Are Barrow 2021. So yesterday he held a press conference. But at this press conference, he also called on President Adama Barrow to reshuffle his cabinet, that is to appoint a new cabinet. Let's take a listen to what Mr. Bio said there at the press conference that was held at Tamale.
We are exactly 4.5 months away from the presidential election, which will be in next December. I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate my compatriots, especially the youngest one, who have shown enthusiasm during the enrollment operation that just exhausted. A sine qua non condition to vote. I would also like to express my heartfelt condolences to the families of the victims and to the entire nation for the huge number of life losses recorded during the windstorm of last week. We wish a swift recovery to the injured and pray for the victims. We would like to commend the promptness of the government through the NDMA, the National Disaster Management Agency, to assist the victims, and we express our full solidarity to them. We also commend the government for deploying the army to tackle the level of insecurity that has been noted across the country last weeks and last months. However, time is running, and unfortunately, many challenges are remaining. There are emergencies that cannot wait. Faithful to my conviction of yesterday, reiterated during the launching of We Are Barrow 2021 a few weeks ago, during which I did pledge to always tell the truth, nothing but the truth, to the head of state, Adama Barrow. Even being on his side, I strongly believe that the President of the Republic has a moral duty to properly organize the next presidential election with the best team possible. And I strongly believe that we can do better than the current team. This is why I believe that it becomes necessary for him to appoint, as soon as possible, a new cabinet capable, among other things, of defending the balance sheet of the incumbent president, capable of giving him an international dimension that he deserves after his significant victory in the ballot box against one of the most repressive regimes in the continent, Yahya Jammeh. Moreover, we are advocating for a new team focused on innovation, creativity, and modernizing our political arena. I am for a cabinet reshuffle with a majority of ministers capable of meeting the expectation and inspiration of our citizens. That is why it would be required for the President to bring new skills from diverse backgrounds, ready to meet the numerous challenges. We are
Africa Global presents the new Tulip Gardens. Taft Tulip Gardens is set to comprise service plots in sizes ranging from 220 to 570 meters square. Deposit as low as $83,600 is only an 18-month interest-free payment plan with only 20% deposit on the service plots. Please contact 376-2333 or 776-2333. Free. Tough.
Thank you very much and welcome back. That is Sidia Bio there. He's a member of We Are Barrow for 2021 movement. He's somebody who has thrown his weight behind President Adam Barrow, but he's also asking the president to appoint a new cabinet. Those are comments from Sidia Bio there at his press conference yesterday. So originally today I was going to speak to a lawyer regarding the huge case yesterday, the Yankuba Toure conviction and sentencing there. But all three lawyers that I had wanted to speak to appear or seem very busy today. But I will be speaking now to Mr. Ibrahima Sori Bah. He's the Secretary General of Gambia for 5 years and peace building. But he has gone ahead to form his own political party, Gambia Jamaa Party. He's with me and he will tell me how this whole idea came about. Mr. Soriba, thank you for coming.
Thank you, Njai. Thank you so much.
So, I mean, you are somebody who is a top sort, Secretary General of Gambia for 5 years and peace building. This has always been a pro-President Adama Barrow group. Here you are, forming your own political party, Gambia Jamaa Party. How did you settle for this idea?
Well, very interesting question. I would want to start with your introduction.
Yes.
I wouldn't want to be introduced as the Secretary General of...
Aren't you...
Yeah, actually I am no longer the Secretary General of Gambia for 5 years. And I wouldn't want to associate myself with it and the name because for the simple reason that that is a civil society organization and I am now a Secretary General and party leader.
Why did you leave the party, the organization? Sorry.
For my political activity, which does not match with the ethics of Gambia for 5 years and peace building. I wouldn't want to be associated. I wouldn't want to use the name. I mean, but you journalists will always address me. I can understand. Because that is what I am known for. Because I can understand.
Yeah. But why forming your own political party?
Fine. I think the emphasis here the emphasis here is on my party and everything having to do with the formation of the party. If
yes.
I am.
Let's get into that now.
Fine.
Why did you decide to form your party?
I am a Gambian citizen.
Yes.
It is my constitutional right to partake in the Gambian political arena, and like any other citizen, that is a right that I have been able to make good use of as a result, and aspire for the number one job or support or be part of the process. I did not say. If you look at my press release, which is here, that was
in the standard.
Yeah, in the standard. That was really the main story. Yeah. Gambia for 5 years leader forms party. But if you look into, if you go into the story proper, yes. You will see me emphasizing in the main objective of the formation of the party as having been to spearhead a coalition of the opposition party to contest the 4th December presidential election.
But I mean...
So that it does not necessarily make me a flag bearer, and that we are working towards identifying a flag bearer for the party.
And now, help me understand this. You have all along been a supporter of President Barrow. You were the leader of Gambia for 5 years and peace building.
Undoubtedly.
When 3 years, Jotna came out to say the president must resign, you said the president must stay in power. Yeah. To the extent
you wrote a petition asking the president to stay in office.
Sure.
I remember I was on the ground on that day when you were handing over the petition letter to government officials, and you were even crying.
Quite historic.
And you are even crying.
Right.
I asked you, and you said you cried because of your love for President Barrow. Now, you are forming your own political party, and now you are talking about a grand opposition coalition.
Yeah.
Are you no longer backing the president?
Not at all.
Why?
For reasons, for a host of reasons.
Let's get into that
from
now.
political, social,
Let's
economic.
get into that now.
To start with, the president has lost control of the government. Corruption has become the order of the day. You guys have been reporting on it. You have been talking on it.
Yes.
I would be very outspoken here. I would want to say that this is my first platform.
Exactly.
Ahead of, or shortly after the formation of my party.
Yes.
That is the Gambia Jama party.
Yes.
The president has lost control of the government. He is not able to control corruption. We have seen widespread corruption.
Yes.
Allegations, and the president has not done anything
Yes.
to cope that. We have not seen
Yes.
any investigation that actually led to action.
Yes.
The culprits continue to be in office.
Yes.
We saw what happened to the tourism board recently. We also have abuse of office, and even unconstitutionality. You had a minister, the fisheries minister, very recently at the National Assembly, confirming that his minister entered into an agreement, fishing agreement with Senegal, which was not tabled before the National Assembly, which was not ratified by the National Assembly. The only organ that is mandated, that is constitutionally required to see that or to approve that. He took refuge behind the fact that in 2017 there was no National Assembly, but nothing stopped him from bringing the how do you call it, the agreement to the National Assembly in 2018 or 2019, all the way to 2021. That is a serious abuse of office. As we speak, that is an illegality that has not been handled. So he has been asked to bring that, to table that before the National Assembly, among other things.
Such as?
If you look at the economy, look at the economy. The Gambia, like I cited, some of the reasons why I said
Yes.
the skyrocketing consumer prices. The Gambia used to be the food basket. It used to be the most stable. The Gambia used to be the cost of living used to be very, very, very reasonable in this country. Used to be the cheapest around the sub-region. The Gambia ranks among the most expensive in terms of cost of living. We had the Minister of Trade the last time coming, defending, comparing us to Senegal, saying that Senegal is still cost of living is more expensive in Senegal, comparing us. A bag of rice as we speak is 1,600, 1,500 to 1,700, as opposed to only 4 years, from 1,100, 1,150. The president promised us during his campaign. He said a bag of rice will be brought down to $700. So the Minister of Trade has become a mess of recently. Gambians are finding it extremely difficult to afford food on the table. Prices keep skyrocketing on daily basis. You go to the shop and you want to buy half bread and mayonnaise. It will cost you $10, $11. It used to be $7, $3.50 to $4. Difference in less than 3-4 months. Oil, onion, Irish potato. And the saddest thing, these stable foods are not produced in the Gambia. With the river, with the fresh water that we have. That is why you have my tractor, the farming tractor, as my symbol. Yeah. Because we feel that this country can feed itself. So we have not seen mechanization, we have not seen any step, we have not seen the government do anything closer to making sure that food security is something realizable in this country. You saw the Ministry of Health, the COVID-19 funds, the $500 million. You saw the minister sit in the National Assembly and confirming corruption, high-level corruption in his ministry. Shortly afterwards, you saw the nurses coming, complaining of the lack of medical services, materials, and equipment, such as gloves and what? You name it. These are serious discrepancies. These are serious matters of national interest to me.
And all of these made you lose faith
in the government,
in President Adama Barrow.
So I cannot imagine me backing a government or a party of that caliber in the 4th December presidential.
So here is the question now. Do you at all, for someone, a man who cried because he loved President Adama
No,
Barrow?
point of correction. I never cried because I love.
Why did you cry then on that day?
Fine. It should have been good that
because
you.
I remember asking you, and you said this is because you love him too much.
No, I don't think that's not the reason. I did not say that.
Yes.
I said I cried because I can see the country at the brink of conflict. I can see that if the president did not comply to the urge of the Gambian people, looking at the crowd at the time, to go for the 5 years, we will still come to the streets. And you never know what is going to be the response of 3 years, Jonah. So it could have turned catastrophic and chaotic. And having to be part of that.
Do you regret supporting or backing President Adama Barrow at all?
Not for the 5 years. If you were there at the time, looking at the agreement,
but
looking
overall,
at the MOU, no, actually, when it comes with regards to that one, I would have done what I did. But for now, I mean, I have seen his true colors.
And you've regretted supporting him?
Well, yes, of course, for having been in the party for the past 1 year, for having been in the party, in the political council.
Now, you have reacted by forming your own political party.
Sure.
Gambia Jama Party. I mean, what does this name even stand for? Let's start from there. Jama Party.
Gambia.
What does that mean?
Gambia Jama. Gambia is the country. Jama is an Arabic word, a Mandingo word, and a Fula word for the people. Jama is the people. It is even an Arabic.
Jama, crowd.
Crowd, the Gambian people, the majority of the Gambian people supposedly. Party is English.
But so why that name?
Why
that name?
Jama, this is a unique name that applied for Mandinkas, applied for Arabs, applied for Fulas. Put together will give you a majority.
Who and who were part of the formation of this party, aside yourself? Is this a one-man show?
How can there be a one-man party? I have my executive committee. I have my followers across the country and the diaspora.
So you mean you started building your support?
Of course,
base?
you cannot. Rome was never built in a day. I have been working on this for the past 2 months or so.
Did you register with the IEC?
Not yet. I'm working towards that. Normally, it will take time to go by the process. So we are working on that.
But here is the thing, Mr. Soriba. When this came out, your announcement came out, a lot of people laughed at you to say, okay, you have all kinds of people getting up to say we are forming our own political party. So people find it laughable and funny when they see certain people in society just getting up and saying they are forming a whole political party.
Yeah.
Do you think you have what it takes? I mean, because politics is no joke. In the Gambia, maybe people are taking it to be a joke, but this is no joke. Do you think you have what it takes? Really, both resource-wise, money-wise, you know, in terms of your standing in society, do you think you have what it takes to make any headway, any significant headway impact in politics?
Well, actually, I am really surprised to hear that. And I was following a post of recently, I think yesterday or day before yesterday, where I saw over 200 or 150 followers of Kerfatu, watching. No, that carried out the story with my picture of my party. And I saw a lot of people making such comments. I mean, making such questions. And you just made a similar question. Yeah. I believe I have a different conception about politics. I'm like any other contender. I believe I have what it takes to be part of the process of a political party. What I actually need, and what anyone needs to head a political party,
Yes.
I think is the will. I have the wisdom. I have demonstrated that in this country
Yes.
for the past 3 years. I intervened, I founded a movement that restored peace and stability in this country, which is greater than a political party. This country would have been torn apart on 16th December 2019 if I had not intervened and brought about a counter group that took on
Really?
3 years just now for 9 months along the way. So I was really surprised by Gambians. It only showed the level of immaturity and lack of political education. You never judge the book by its cover.
So they were wrong.
Ibrahim
in judging
Soriba,
you.
they were wrong, and I think Gambians still continue to be wrong. I aspire for, I never said I am running for office. Forming a political party, being a party leader and running, being a flag bearer are two different things. Inseparable for that matter. And that distinction has not been made possible. Anybody who knows Njai, you know Ibrahim Soriba, if you speak with Ibrahim Soriba for 5 minutes, you know that this is a guy with wisdom.
Of course, of course.
You will obviously conclude that Ibrahim Soriba has what it takes to lead this country out of its socio-economic mess. I started reading political science at the age of 12 when I was in primary 5-6. The president knows better because I sat with him from primary 1 to 6. That is what interfered with my education system. I became revolutionized. I became so much consumed by politics. So, I mean, Karl Marx, Leninism, you know, political science per se. I involved in politics of the day when I was going to secondary school in my region, in Basse. So I have a wealth of experience. And I don't think I have to wear the mbasangs, the big clothes, or carry the big vehicles, ride in the big vehicles, or the suit that you wore, or suit that you wore, or have the millions. I don't believe in material as the only end to politics. What I believe is the consciousness. I have the consciousness. I'm part of the consciousness of a new dawn. Political horizon. That is what I believe in. And I possess that. I have the skills. Gifted. I'm a school dropout. I rebel against the education, the Gambian education system and Western system in general. And I mastered the skills of leadership.
So you dropped out of school?
Certainly.
At what stage did you drop out?
At secondary school.
Secondary school. So
Yes.
you didn't finish high school?
No, I did not.
That disqualifies you to run for president. Do you know
No,
that?
I never intend to run for president.
Oh, you don't want to run for president?
If I had
all
all the degrees in the world,
yes,
that matters, I would never run for president. But I will be part of the process. I would head a party. With my secondary 4 or with my whatever, I can head a party and become its party leader. The requirement, I believe, is for the party
the candidate,
flag bearer, who has to be unique, who has to be a unifier, who has to be completely unique. I have been involved in politics. I have backed this government that is a mess now for the past 1 year. So I need somebody more unique.
Now, I mean, you formed this party, and now you are talking about a grand opposition coalition.
Sure.
I mean, you have big opposition parties in this country: UDP, GDC, APRC. These are all bigger parties. Really, yours is just coming. In fact, you have not even registered with the IEC yet, and you are talking about a grand opposition coalition. Have you engaged these parties, and if so, I mean, what are they telling you? Are they ready to work with you?
Well, this party was founded on Monday, just about barely 4 days ago. So I couldn't have done that. I need more time to do that. I said...
But what is your objective in this grand opposition coalition? What do you want to achieve? You want to ensure...
Is to defeat President Barrow on the 4th presidential election. Crystal clear. Defeat him.
You want him to go? In this
he has to go. We cannot afford President Barrow for another 5 years in this country.
It's unimaginable to you.
Quite unimaginable, and it is up to the Gambian people. It depends on how the political parties manage to carry that message and manage that campaign. But the polarization of, like I mentioned in my press release, the polarization of our traditional and public offices, such as the chiefs and Alkalolu, is a cause for concern. Khalifa Sallah, here on the same page, Khalifa Blast attempts to invoke or to involve Alkalolu in politics. This is serious. A calculated effort to polarize these offices that are supposed to be independent.
So you are saying
and autonomous.
It is the president who is doing that?
Who met the Alkalolu and pretended that they met him while it was at his request.
So it was at the president's. Let's clear that, because
how would they go? How would they go? He said, "What you had him? You were there. You must have covered the program."
I was.
It is erroneous. You must have been.
But I followed it.
You followed it. You followed it.
Yes.
Who?
So it was the president who invited them. It was at his request to meet them.
I don't have any such evidence, but obviously,
because clearly what was said there was that it was the Alkalolu who wanted to meet him. The Alkalolu, the traditional leaders of the combo.
Why not? Why now?
Who wanted?
Why now? Why not in 2017? Why not in 2018? Why not in 2020? Why only 3-4 months to elections?
So you find it highly suspect?
Well, it's a fake. I can never. And everybody in your mind, you know that the president is behind it. These offices. Why now?
Well, but let me, I mean, you said you read politics, you've been into politics for a very long time. Since you were 12, you were reading. Why is, let me understand this then. The issue, because in the Gambia, that is quite common. You see someone supporting somebody, I mean, very much, and then the next day, he doesn't like the person.
Changes allegiance.
He switches love. How do you do that? How do you politicians do that?
No, actually, politics is about achievements. It's about targets. It's about fulfilling set goals and objectives. So if you fail against those objectives along the way, for me, I have every right to say no. I am on the wrong party.
You had the option of, okay, saying, ditching your love for President Barrow, cancelling that, and say, I am going to join another party, an opposition party. You didn't do that. I mean, you have a raft of opposition political parties in this country, yet you could not see anyone that you could go and join.
No, point of correction.
Your own political party.
Point of correction. I am already at an advanced stage of completing a memorandum of agreement or going into an alliance with some political parties.
Which party is that?
No, it is highly. I can't reveal that here.
Why?
Because the agreement has not been.
So you don't want to jeopardize.
But I don't want to jeopardize it. I don't want to preempt it.
Yes.
But I am only telling you that it is at a planning stage. My executive committee are busy negotiating and putting up the memorandum of understanding, the MOU, with that party. That party is led by a highly qualified security personnel in this country. And
well,
obviously,
the only person that I know who is a security man, we have a few. That is Tamser Jasi, that is General Lamin Bojang. These are
I am not mentioning. I'm not giving names. I am only telling you that we are at an advanced stage of actually going into an alliance or a coalition with a political party, and we are looking forward to penetrating other political parties, to bringing more political parties on board, like my objective. In the write-up, in my.
So can I ask you about the issue of, you said you have your own executive committee. Can you tell us about some of the people who are in your executive? Because people only see you. I mean, the only person, to tell you the truth, that I know to be a member of this party is you. Who and who can you tell me?
No, but
you know, members of this party.
But you know, you did not have any forum to see other people. You only.
But you can give me names and tell me this is who they are.
No, I will not do that. And I also want to refute the fact that I am not the only one you saw. In fact, you couldn't have seen more than Ibrahim Soribao, because you only saw a press release where only the party leader and the secretary general is supposed to should be obviously traditionally. So this is how all other parties actually had their way. This party is 4 days old. Right into pronouncement, from the announcement. So you will see more of my executive, you will see our probably press conference, you will see our meetings, you will see our MOU signing and all that. Probably even at the IEC.
The reason I ask I don't want people to run with this and say, okay, it is a one-man party.
No, let them say that. They will be proven wrong as time goes. We almost every party started like this.
Yes.
I mean, you had parties that have been registered, that have been started by one person. Tell me. Obviously, there is a founder. So that address has always been there. So for me, anyone who knows Ibrahim Soriba, of all people, a household name in this country, to be a single, to lead a one-man party, that is laughable. That is unimaginable.
I see you wearing Sering Bamba.
It's my Sering.
Bamba Hadim Rasul. That's your marabu?
That's my Sering. I have a lot of it. It's my Sering.
Sering Bamba. Why are you walking around with all these cards?
Sering Bamba
is your Sering.
Sering is my Sering.
About him?
Sering is my Sering, and Sering Bamba blessed this country, and. I know that a lot of politicians actually have had that relationship and have sought the blessing of Sering Bamba, Tuba, and Muridism. I am a Murid, and I actually, as a venerable leader, I seek a lot of blessing from him. Being Khadim Rasulu, knowing what Khadim Rasulu means, Khadim means, in Arabic, Khadim means the servant of the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So this leader, this religious leader, is my star, and I find a lot of blessing in him, and that is why it is quite symbolic for me to have him.
That's actually a very good thing, and really, that is actually good to know. But finally, let me ask you this then. I mean, I think we've exhausted everything on your party, but then I just want to ask you about the voter registration and I mean how you participated in that as a party.
Right. Well, the voter registration just ended. I think was it on the 11th? When was Monday? It was Monday, not 11th. I think a day or two before. Towards the end of the registration was when I actually announced the formation of the party.
Yes.
So we did not have much to do with that. But we have our observations, we have our concerns regarding the allegations which was highlighted in my as a cause of concern in my press release. The registration, the allegations of aliens registered, the registration of foreigners. Yes. Has been a cause for concern. We did not hear the IEC talk about that. We did not hear government coming forward to make clarifications here and there, which we expected. So that is a cause for concern, because if you give, I don't know actually what is the reversing course going to be, but my party is going to be very active with, in making sure that we investigate to ascertain, to determine the level of how the level of foreigners registration or being registered. And if that is to be the case, or if that is the case, we will actually undertake to follow this matter to the revising courts to make sure that foreigners do not participate in our elections, because it is illegal, it is unconstitutional. It is to say, I don't think there is any way the president, the incumbent, is going to win without obviously genuinely and decently. I doubt it. I'm casting a doubt.
You think the only way for him to win is to steal the election?
No, I don't think so. I am not saying that, because I do not have proof.
Yes.
What I'm saying is it will be extremely difficult. My conscience wouldn't allow me to think and believe that the president, the incumbent, will win. Would have
Genuinely.
Genuinely,
that's what you said.
decently
Meaning the only other way to win is to steal.
So if there is that allegation of registration of foreigners and that has not been clarified either from the IEC or from his party,
Yes.
then one would think that the rationale behind that is to make sure that they get the foreigners to vote for the president. But that is why I said my party, and I believe the other opposition party, would work closely, or we work together to make sure that we investigate and find out and ascertain. Because the claims have been there, you heard about them. It's no secret in this country. So we will go and say, and I am going to mount a campaign. I'm going to make sure that we inform, we sensitize the foreigners to make sure that if they are giving voters cards, they are being deceived. Because the voters card is just a one-day business, just for you to go and cast your vote. You cannot use the voters card for identification. You cannot use it for any socio or economic transaction. What needed to have been done at the time was to sensitize them, for them to start the process of obtaining a Gambian nationality by going for the naturalization. My fullers per se, my fuller relatives who are in the Gambia and have been here for ages, for decades. That is what the government needed to do. Or that is what I believe the immigration department needed to sensitize them on, for them to obtain. But giving a foreigner who has been here for 15 or 20 years a voter's card for you to go and vote, at the end of it, you cannot use it for any other transaction, I think is highly unacceptable.
Unacceptable. Let me ask, I will not do justice to this interview if I don't ask you this, because these allegations have been out there. I wanted to end the interview, but it just came to my mind. Has to do with the allegation or the claim that you were the chief of Gambia for 5 years and peace building. And
I told you I don't want to discuss Gambia.
You don't want to discuss that, but this has to do with your person. The allegation is the president gave you $6 million and you stole the money. This is what they said.
Who stole them? No, nobody said I stole
the
them.
officials of Gambia for 5 years, and you were part of that.
No, just clarify that. That is a serious allegation you are making.
Yes.
In fact, who said that?
This is out there. It was out there. Haven't you heard that?
No, you did not. I think you are misinterpreting, or you are misquoting those guys.
Yes.
You are pushing me to that. I didn't want to discuss that. I don't want to entertain the issue of Gambia for 5 years in this discussion. It is completely irrelevant and out of topic.
But
it was not an allegation that was made on me.
Not you, but officials.
Officials,
and you were the Secretary General. That's what I was saying.
Well, actually, just to clear the air, that money I said on endless platforms that Gambia for 5 years had money, obtained money, or received money through donations and contributions, and that's all. We did not receive money from anybody. I don't know of.
You did not receive 6 million from President?
No, there is no such evidence. If anybody says that, let the individual provide the evidence. I said this on all fora, on endless fora.
And you did not take any money, at least at your level. You did not take any money.
I am not the treasurer. I was not the treasurer. I was not in the finance committee of the of the protest march.
Yes.
So I couldn't have had access to the funds. So obviously.
Very well. That is, quite helpful, really.
Well, I was Secretary General and coordinator of the protest, so I couldn't have handled funds.
You could not have handled funds.
No, I couldn't. That was a task force.
Well, that is quite clear. Sometimes my interviews can
I am ready. No, not annoying. I mean, I was a freelance journalist.
I will have to crave your indulgence for that. But
no, I mean, come on, that's natural.
Thank you very much.
The truth has to come out.
It has to come out. It has to, and especially for you politicians, those who want to lead our country, we need to hold you to account.
But the Gambians should change their way, their pattern,
the way they think
about people. Their perception about people is very, very, very serious. I mean, history has taught us that politicians are born and not made. I believe in my psychological take is that successful politicians are made. A combination of how do you call it? Of making them, preparing politicians is possible. But politicians are made. We have seen. In fact, I want to make this statement here.
Yes, go ahead.
that I have not seen successful elite stroke politicians in Africa. You can give me one. Name me one country where an elite, the so much desirable or so much to do with elites have not succeeded in Africa. If any, it's the semi-illiterates or the school dropouts, like we saw what Thomas Sankara started in 6-7 years in Burkina Faso. Gaddafi failed because along the way, but he was not a graduate, he was a soldier. But we saw what happened and how Libya, under the Jamahirian revolution, was able to be the most stable economically in Africa. So to associate leadership, although the knowledge is not confined only within the four corners of the classroom.
I agree.
It's researchable. It is obtainable as a result of efforts. So Gambians should stop. We have seen in Africa, and we continue to see, this country for 30 years was led by a graduate. This country could not build, Sadara Jawara could not build a single school, a single hospital for 30 years. A graduate, a veterinary doctor.
Highly educated.
Highly educated, where was the knowledge? I would not hide that. I would not hide that.
Yeah, Jame came and did well in terms of
infrastructural development. Even though he had his odds,
he's not my cup of tea.
His odds, he became power tasty, and then he did a lot of things. He missed the way. I was a July 22nd pioneer, and I was one of those who advocated for the no to the no election agenda that was being campaigned by at the time. So I said, no, you have to. How do you call it, undress, or do you have to contest as a civilian and then contest the election? He lost the how do you call it, the spirit along the way, and then became a dictator. So where in Africa can you show me a single country? Look at what is happening to Rwanda.
But
or Burundi.
If Senegal did very well, their presidents were well educated and they did very well. Senegal is just one example. You know, you have other educated presidents across Africa who did really well.
Just Senegal,
and
Senegal did very well. Is Senegal developed?
Oh, well, Senegal is doing very well in terms of development. Haven't you seen that?
Senegal. Well, I know Senegal.
They're doing very well in Africa. Very well. Just recently, they announced that they will build a lab to start producing COVID-19 vaccines. The first country in Africa. Cost
of living is still.
That country is moving.
Fine. I'm saying
that's
very
a
few.
Debate for another day.
That's a very few. You are giving me one country out of over 52, 53 countries in Africa. We saw Kwame Nkrumah failed in Africa. We saw him become a dictator. Dr. J.B. Dangu, I was a history teacher, was almost, I think, died in his prison. This was a guy that invited him for him to come and lead the United Gold Coast People's Party, the UGGC. He became a dictator shortly after 6 years. This is somebody with a doctorate, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. The list goes on and on. Alpha Conde has become Africa's worst dictator in 10 years. He stole 3 elections. And had to go for a third term, had to modify a constitution. Somebody had to, as we speak, come on. This is somebody who has PhD in history, African history. So our graduates have never been celebrated in terms of socio-economic gains.
Mr. Ibrahim Soriba, thank you. Really, I appreciate this.
Thank you.
This interview. It's wonderful to have you. Really.
Thank you.
I mean, thank you. Whenever I call you, you're always prepared to be on my show. Thank you.
Thank you. I also thank you.
And good luck with your political project, Mr. Soriba. Thank you. Thank you very much. So that will bring us to the end of the show today. We thank you for being there. We'll be back next week.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Njai.